Eric, what's going on, brother? It's good to see you.
It's good to see you, Mr. Austin.
How's everything coming along?
Pretty good, really good actually. It's great. I know we're coming to the end of our time working together, and it's been great working with you, man.
Yeah, your energy, and I'm sure people can feel it. It's contagious. Every time we have a meeting,
God,
I'm fired
God
up.
help us, right?
Yeah, awesome. But yeah, what I want to do, I want to kind of get some context and background just on you so you can share with the audience, like what kind of coach you are, what kind of people you work with, what you do. And then from there, I want to understand why you hired me in the first place. Like
Sure.
what was the hot button that was like, man, if I could just solve this, if Austin can fix this, then it would be worth my time with them. And then we can kind of chat about where you're at now and where we're heading into the future. Does that work for you?
Yeah. And I'm presuming if somebody's watching this, they're considering whether they should hire Austin. And the truth is, I have no idea, but I'm happy to share my. I mean, I'm biased. I have a bias, but my experience has been great. So I've at least at this point doing this video, I've been coaching for almost 3 years full time, and my coaching practice started off pretty successful. Where I was making somewhere in the neighborhood of my first year 5 or 6 a month, and this is long before I met Austin. And then my second year somewhere close to the neighborhood of 10 or so a month. And um and and so when I met Austin, like, I was doing fine, and it wasn't like I was in any sort of desperate straits. And the thing that really I really noticed with the conversations I had with Austin when I first met him is I'm sure you've heard it said, this guy's wise beyond his years. Of course, you watch this video 80 years from now, you're like, what does he mean? But because when I'm recording this, like, Austin's wise beyond his years, and he's got this real gift in terms of the energy that he brings around confidence in sales. I'm a big believer that sales is service, and I know that's something that Austin believes also, and he packages it in this really sort of fiercely confident way where he takes a stand for people, and that those are things that really stood out to me. Those were places where I wanted to get a lot stronger than I was. I'm pretty strong as a coach, and just when it came to some of that enrollment, just being able to mimic and have Austin as a role model, and to get his, probably the most useful thing was just to really, and this is one of the things that really came up often in the group calls that we had, and even the one-on-one calls, is really just to understand his thinking. Like, that's the most valuable thing I think I've gotten from Austin, is to under, because you can see his way of being, but then to understand the logic behind his thinking, and sort of the premises and assumptions he has that gets him to say the things that come out of his mouth, that are like, how the hell does he know to say that? Like, that's been by far the most excellent thing. And as a result, my sales have really thrived this, over the past about 3 or 4 months that I've been working with Austin. A series of $15,000 months, and then I had my highest month ever where I broke 50 for the first time. And I don't know that if I would have hit these consistently high numbers without him. So yeah, I'm really happy I made the investment. It's something I'd absolutely do again. And I definitely consider myself like a really good salesperson, or again, for me, sales is service, so it's all combined. But like, I don't think of myself as weak in that area at all, and in large part that's because of my time working with Austin. So I'm really glad I did it.
You know what they say? Fine is the enemy of good,
That's
and
right.
that's where you were at. I know when I met you, you were like, I'm doing fine, man. I got
Yeah.
calls on the calendar,
Yeah.
booked. I got things happening. I'm doing 10. Sometimes I peak up to 15. Hell, I'll hit 20 here and there. And it's fine. Life is good. And I think that was almost like modesty, where you were like, you didn't want to be like, oh yeah, like I suck, or I'm killing it. You're kind of just modestly chatting about it, like, yeah, it's fine. It works. And I was like, yeah, but like, you could be doing 40 or 50 or 60, and you have the lead flow. The only thing we need to tinker with is your close percentage. And then we kind of
Yeah.
played with the numbers. It's like, man, if we could just bump your close percent by X, your business 2.5 X's overnight. It's like, that makes
Yeah.
sense. I remember you sent me an email, it was a couple weeks ago, and and like I hadn't seen you on the group calls for a little while. And you're like,
Yeah.
sorry, man, been busy, just blasted past 50K this month. I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
so you kind of took all the teachings and then went down a wormhole and then popped back up for air at, on the other side of 50K in a month.
Yeah.
So I'm excited
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, no, it was good, and you were so right about how fine can be the enemy of the. The cliche is don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good, but the opposite can also be true. Is fine is a dangerous place to be. Because it can feel risky to tinker with fine when just if you do and if you have the courage to do it, and it's the Einstein thing. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to get the same results. And if those results are fine, that can be a real comfortable place to be. And so, yeah, so investing with Austin when I did it, just like any investment like that, it wasn't particularly comfortable. Like, it wasn't like I wanted to part with that money, and I'm so glad I did. So, yeah.
I love that. And I think we skipped over, but quickly, what is your offer and price points where you at?
Yeah, so I have a couple of different programs. Sort of my flagship thing is it's priced pretty modestly. So I have a high performance career coaching package where I help people land jobs. It's mostly a group program, and that's priced right around 2,000, which means I had a lot of calls and I closed a lot of people to get to some of those higher numbers. And then I've got some 6 month and year long programs that are a little bit they come with a little bit of a higher investment. So, but yeah, that's part of the reason I had, so many calls, and it was able to, sort of take a stand for the clients that signed up, is because I, had a lot of the thoughts and ideas that Austin shares, through his coaching. And so, yeah, so it wasn't just I landed a couple of, big high paying clients and that does it. Like I had a lot of clients, a lot of calls.
Yep.
I'm not sure
That's
that's
what
the
makes
right
your
way, but
results impressive, because like if you
yeah,
have a 25K offer and I closed
right.
two people, it's like, yay,
Yeah,
great
2 out of
job. It's
50.
like
No, that wasn't this.
you've had dozens of calls a week,
Yeah,
like you're showing up and just grinding out
yeah,
calls, and then that's devastating to not close at 30 or
right,
35%, because it's like
right.
if you're at 5 or 10%, you're spending so many hours
Yeah,
people that aren't buying, and it's not their
yeah,
fault, it's your fault. You just need to get better energy and better tactics and
yeah,
better frameworks to be able to close these people. And I know that we worked a lot, on those frameworks and on those things, and it's just led
absolutely.
to astronomical results. But I guess last question, like if anyone is considering working with me, maybe they're on the fence, what would you tell them? What would you say to them?
I like to think I've become a better coach in general by being coached by Austin the time I have been, because um I've learned a lot about, as a coach, fighting for clients until they're ready to fight for themselves. And that's the idea I would offer you now. If you're considering working with Austin, it could be that he's willing to fight for you now more than you're willing to fight for yourself. And that's okay. There's no shame in that. Like we've all been there. And just realize that could be what's happening. It could be that if Austin's like, you know, like I can help you. I can help you with your sales. And then you've got that little voice inside that's like, I don't know. That could just be that you're not willing to fight for yourself as much as he is yet. And that's okay. And I would just offer to you that, um, if you have a little faith, you're going to get there just like I did.
I love that. It's a journey that we're on. It's a
That's right.
journey that we're on. So, but Eric, it's great to see you as always, man. I appreciate you jumping on. I'm proud of you, man. 15 to 50 is no small feat. I know you had the lead flow and you were closing sales. You were doing fine. But I'd like to
Yeah.
say now you're doing great.
Yeah.
So proud of you.
Yeah. Thanks, Austin. I'm really grateful for your help.
Absolutely. We'll chat soon.